Today on the Down the Donut Hole podcast, we'll check in with the nervous news, if we must. And then we'll talk about other things that make us nervous and maybe things that we could possibly do something about.
Oh, yeah.
You said if we Musk?
I see where your head is.
Yeah. Oh, no, I was, wait, okay.
Well, that really does fit in with the nervous news because, in a way, my heart goes out to Elon Musk, even though I know that he does not need my sympathy. But it
or
does
your money.
Because, he's getting my money. He's getting everybody's money. So he can fix whatever it is ailing him spiritually, emotionally, whatever way. But the guy is really in the crosshairs of everybody's ire. And I do think this has gone on long enough where you do not, unless it's an agenda.
You have to let it go. That wrestling event was a couple days ago.
I don't need that. Oh my goodness. There is so much that does make people nervous, or that you're thinking to yourself, this makes no sense anymore. And yes, we want efficiency. Yes, we want cost cutting. But there are ways that you go about things. And also, we've discussed this before, in terms of leadership, there needs to be a level of professionalism. There needs to be awareness. There's ways that you go about doing things. And while it sounds really old-fashioned, hey, this is the way we've always done it, and this is how you need to do it, I know the young ones don't like to hear that from boomers or even older people than us. But there are ways that you go about doing things because you know what? And this may surprise everyone.
Are there older people than us?
There's fewer and fewer. We're getting there, hon.
No, you need a Captain Kirk is what you're saying.
Well, you know what? I read somewhere in one of the rags that...
He just turned, 94?
Yeah.
Sorry.
That what we saw on the screen was not necessarily how the person was. And
I don't believe that at all.
I don't either.
Not from an actor.
I don't believe that either. I don't want to believe that. I want to believe that.
You're still nervous.
No, I'm kind of wound up.
Oh. Okay. Well. Okay.
People are mad at us.
You?
At you? What'd you do?
At me.
So your beliefs?
And hey,
They're not mad at me or Daz. I think it's just
here's some
I think it's
news
just
for you.
you,
They're
actually.
mad at you, and
According to the comments,
they're mad at you. They're mad at all of us who are carrying an American passport because the stuff that's coming from our home office is very, very ornery.
So judge the people of a nation by the government. Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody else does.
Yeah, that's what everybody else does. That's why it's wrong.
Yep. I mean, when you meet people, when you travel and you meet people individually, it's lovely. We've always been treated very well. And I think part of that is if you extend respect, you receive respect, generally speaking, unless there's other problems, But the security breach...
Are you talking about the AI pizza machine again in France?
No, I'm not. But I will give an update on that later. What I am talking about is that DOD conference call about the strike against the Houthis. And that was organized on, get this now, an unsecured channel.
Wait, what was the
Before they coordinated that strike. They have a committee, they call it.
What was the strike?
The strike was to make sure that the shipping lanes in the Red Sea were kept open. And so the Houthis, Yemen, they're a rebel group, if I understand all the ins and outs of it. And they're guilty of an awful lot of piracy against merchant ships, against government ships.
Not just copying DVDs.
No,
Okay,
no. It's way worse than that.
They do that too, I think.
Those shipping lanes are mostly used by Europe. And so from what I understand, our president felt that it was important for us to help out in that
Elon Musk
line of thinking and help make sure that those shipping lanes are secure. He's a very business-like mindset, and he thought that that was good. However, in kind of a grudging way against our allies in Europe. And that unsecured call, which was leaked to a very responsible, I have to say, a very responsible member of the press.
Was it a call or an email?
It was like an email back and forth.
Oh, okay.
And
What happened? Wait, so it was like an internal
it was an internal, high-level, highly classified
talking
meeting,
about that event
talking about
or the
in
plans
the lead up
for that, right?
In the
okay.
lead up, in the very immediate
And
time period before they did it.
And it got leaked, or did they accidentally include somebody on
They
that?
included a journalist who, by the way, I have to commend Jeff Goldberg because
I loved
there's
him in Jurassic
information.
Park. That was
There's information that he could have shared with the general public, but he has taken responsibility for keeping a lot of the content of what he was privy to mistakenly. He has kept it under wraps, and I have to absolutely commend that.
I'm no political scholar, but I think that's stupid to do that. Never include a journalist on your private.
Well, they didn't get it. They
I mean,
didn't
transparency is one thing, but
Oops.
know. Right. Well, also, do you remember the whole Hillary thing? And she was using her personal phone, and this same.
oh yeah, she deleted a
party.
bunch of government emails
Yeah.
that she wasn't supposed to.
Well, she had them on her personal phone.
Yeah.
You know, that she
anybody
calls up
that
her
does that,
kids and
it's a
everybody
problem.
else on. No, it's, you know what? Again, I know it's old fashioned, but that's not how we do things. We have
Apparently we
secure
do.
phones, and it's been checked out, and we maintain that security because we're paying for that, guys. We're paying for that, and
I
we're
think our
paying
episode
for
on-
secure rooms.
Our episode on digital spies really sticks with you.
It does stick with you because what does it take? The three of us, we really have a sense that.
Well, here's
you're
the
not
thing
private.
that I wonder about is these guys don't have the background for the job they're doing, and it kind of blows my mind that instantly they're appointed and they're the ones that are making these decisions, and they like obviously on any sort of very complicated or sensitive job or some high level job of any sort. You're going to be mentored by somebody for a very long period of time before you take over the controls.
Those appointments are all specific for a reason. They are people that were
Cronyism.
they were targeted by these divisions, these agencies, like Mashed Potatoes. What's his name?
Who?
Kash Patel was
Yeah.
targeted by the FBI and.
So these are kind of grievance appointments.
I'm not making fun of people. I just can't remember names.
No, it's cronyism, really.
It
But, yeah,
absolutely
so-
is cronyism, and a lot of these people. It's very transparent that a lot of these people worked very hard, or donated a lot of money, or are beholden to people who donated a lot of money.
then again,
and
you
this is a
can-
duh
you can
because
appoint-
this is happening on both sides.
You can appoint who you want, and they have to be vetted through. They have to go through Congress and stuff and whatever.
But these people
Like I
have
say,
it.
at the very least, there should be a training period, right?
No, in
You're
the
the
DOD.
highest level jobs that they have some sort of ripple effect on the rest of the world. You shouldn't be just, oh, you're the new guy, I'm out of here, and there you go.
That happened to me once on a job,
I think this
an
is
early radio job.
yeah.
I got hired as news director, and I wasn't all that technically
You were a
savvy.
crony.
No, I wasn't. I got this job. I had gone to college. I had a degree and all of that. So I get this job. I walk in there the first day, and it's really early in the morning. I walk in there the first day, and there's nobody there. There was one guy there, and he kind of turned on the equipment, and he left the room, and I'm, what do I do? And he goes, well, you have a degree. And I go, yeah, but not to operate the equipment. That wasn't part of it. It was writing, it was that sort of thing, and interviewing and that sort of thing. And he says, he goes, the other guy quit. And I go, so he goes, yeah. So I had an interview that first day and it was a rural community. The interview was with the head of a volunteer fire department. And I was asking questions that I thought were good questions, and open-ended questions, because when you conduct an interview, that's what you're looking for. Let people have some space to describe what's important to them. And he was answering every question that I asked with yeah. No.
Yep.
Yep. You know, and I had all of this time I had to fill, and I left that first day on that job with the worst headache I think I have ever had in my life. But it taught me the importance of making sure that any kind of transition that you're trying to accomplish, make sure that there's plenty of time for mentoring. It's like you don't look at your kid and say, okay, today you can drive the car. That's not how you go with them and you help them learn how to operate the vehicle. A pilot, he spends a lot of time in the air before they hand over the permissions to just fly solo. And it seems to me that in the Department of Defense of the largest military on this planet, that there should be, like you say, Dave, a mentoring period. But the guy walked in there. He was a talk show host. He was in the military, from what I understand. He knows how to salute. He knows how to march. He can probably carry a pack, or could. We don't know that that's still true. But that does not make you fit to command, for sure.
Do you think that's different than any other administration? I think it's just that it seems like there's more visibility today.
Yeah.
No, I think from what I've seen.
I know how you feel about it, so I know what you're going to say.
Even in President Trump's first term, he had members of the military advising him, and there wasn't wholesale firings of the people who know how to do stuff within the agencies, that understand the protocols, that understand why those protocols are there. It's like there's certain things, Dave, in a personal way. You're not really invited to go out and make a huge mess in the kitchen, because I know where the stuff is. In our kitchen, we're very busy. Anything that we're doing out there needs to be sort of streamlined. And I'm not real quick to say, hey, go do your thing, because you have to keep asking me, where's this, where's that? And if I'm gone, keep it simple, baby, because it's too much, and on a hugely grand scale. That's what we're talking about. Now, seems like DOD 101 is, if you're about to accomplish a military strike, that the people in the room, it's all secured and it's closed channels. Now, that is a huge duh. Assume every mic is live.
Unless it was an inside job to sabotage everything. Because they have teams of people that probably hook all that stuff up and set all those things up.
Absolutely. But again, are we vetting everybody? Are we vetting everybody? And I will say,
I'm not.
Maybe you
your
should
representatives are. It's not you sitting in the chair, but our representatives are supposed to be doing that. And now people in Europe have heard the nasty little snarky comments that in the run-up to those strikes about how we don't like to bail out Europe.
Ooh, let's hear some juicy gossip. What's in there? I don't know what's in there.
Not surprising, though. It really isn't.
Yeah,
It's along those lines, and I can't quote all.
Like us.
Here we go, and that sort of thing, bailing out Europe. And I really don't like having to do this. And there was agreement among 2 or 3 of very high level government
Why are we
services.
so mad at Europe?
I don't know. They stepped up when we went into
AI
Iraq.
Pizza.
They do have good AI pizza.
Yeah, but what's the animosity with Europe? Is that they don't do what we tell them to do? Is that the thing?
Well, we pay more for Europe's security than Europe itself does because of the way NATO is set up. And that didn't evolve overnight. That has been administration over administration investing in that as the world's superpower. And we've said before, with great power comes great responsibility.
Stanley said that. That was in Spider-Man. He wrote that in the Spider-Man comic.
And
if you want to be the one that has the most guns, then you have the biggest responsibility, right?
Right. And you have to continually demonstrate that the guns that you have, that you're going to use them responsibly. And part of all of that NATO effort is, I think, making the world feel comfortable with us having a very large nuke arsenal with having a huge army, with setting up bases around the world, if we're generally doing good, demonstrating that we can be relied upon, then that costs you something. It's not free. It's not free.
We're still doing that crap in the 21st century.
I
We're still
know.
doing the wars crap.
I know.
And now it's more dangerous because they don't even have to see the whites of your eyes.
It's not a charity, that's for sure. There's money to be made in it.
They're shooting up schools and churches and hospitals and the world over. And the way warfare is conducted now is no holds barred.
We don't learn nothing.
No, we ain't learned nothing.
Yeah, we're real slow, I guess.
I don't know.
Anyway, that's nervous enough.
Yeah.
Maybe.
It's more of the anxious news.
So we go from the nervous news to other things in our life that make us nervous.
Yeah. What makes you nervous? Because you're really known for being laid back and sensible, and what
On the
is
outside,
one thing that
maybe.
really gets to you?
It's the devices and the internet, and that's there's studies out there. This is not a new concept. A lot of the general anxiety and things like that are linked directly to how much screen time at any age.
Are you spending too much time on the screen? Does your
Well,
wife ever holler at
everybody
you?
is. Everybody is, really. And, for me, I just notice being technical. And I grew up, I'm old enough so that my journey with understanding the development of devices and the internet and things like that started with a calculator. So, but,
You old.
the progress is amazing. But it seems like the more and more time that people spend on devices online and all that sort of thing, it is correlated to how much anxiety that they deal with, and that's because of things like you can't rely on everything. They wanted to force everybody to put everything in the cloud, so it would be safe.
Is it
That
safe?
sort of thing.
Is
Well,
that
that's
safe?
the thing. People don't feel that, and you're working on something, a document that really lives in the cloud, and you get some sort of hiccup on or disconnection or something. Oh crap! Did I lose all of that work? Then if you sort of sit still and realize how you feel when you're doing that stuff, you can feel the tension welling up inside you, really.
How about
And then
those?
there's other things about some of the main websites that people use a lot. They're constant. I understand that you got to make improvements and upgrade and that sort of thing. But there seems to be too much of that. They are changing things all the time. About okay, you have a drop down menu today, and I know how to get into my account here and there or wherever, whatever you're trying to do. Then all of a sudden it's not there. You got to search around someplace else to find where the hell that drop down is that gets you to the place you want to be on the internet.
How about those robot tests? Are you a robot? And then you have to find the
Oh my God,
numbers
I know.
and push the numbers. But the thing with that is, if your vision is not great,
Well, that's right.
you can't see it, and there's no other formula that's obvious. Maybe there is. I
Yeah,
don't
a
know.
lot of times, at least with myself, and I hear this from other people, some of those ones that you have to decipher something from a very fuzzy image. And you go through 5 or 6 times at least until you can see, well, I kind of think it's this or whatever. And to be fair, they most of them do have an option to hear an audio file. But then they're all scratchy and distorted and all this other stuff. I know they're trying to trick the AI factor out of it. I understand that, but all
you
this
need
while it's a
contrast.
frustration. If you have to, if you have a time limited thing, like you need an answer in an email or something like that, and this is the barrier for you to get in there, it absolutely creates more and more tension. There's no question about it.
And how much of the bicycle tire that counts as in
Exactly.
the square? It's like, oh, look, there's part of the tire in the square. Do I count that as the bicycle?
That's right.
And those are really, I understand. My understanding is, I don't understand anything. My understanding is that those are just, it's not so much what you click on as it is the human pattern of the sequence of squares you pick on, you choose, how you do that. That makes sense.
How about those ones where you have to slide puzzle pieces together to get the thing?
I didn't like those when I was a kid. I don't like them when I'm trying to get into something like
and
that.
especially if you're dealing with something that's kind of grouchy to start with, you have a form that has to be filled out and you've got to get it sent in right away. And so many other things, important things in your world depend on being able to do that. And then, so you try 5 or 6 times with one of those robot tests. And why would a robot be trying to get into whatever it is? I don't understand.
At the will of the evil overlord that controls the bot.
Well, it's a robot that made the test.
It would have to be. There's no human on the earth that's mean enough to stoop that low.
And now I don't know about you guys, but I'm seeing changes with like email and all that. It's like my email now is harder to get into than the bank account. And I'm thinking, what's going on? Everybody's really, mindful about the fact that there's a questionable level of security on the internet. And I understand this is probably why they see that coming. And with the idea of quantum computing, forget about it. That's a whole other subject. But it's incongruous. It's like, I'm just trying to get into the email, for heaven's sake. It's just crazy.
They have to know if you're a terrorist, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, and everybody's a terrorist. If you say anything out of the way, you become a terrorist.
I would never do that.
No, I know that. Nor would I.
And then don't even begin to talk about the ads that pop up. And then you have to chase them around the screen to find the X.
I know. And the X changes. Sometimes I try to poke the X, and it's little, so it's not easy. And you have to, especially as an older person, hitting that. But for some reason, then it changes to play, And so then you sit there and you dump out of the ad as quick as you can, trying to get back to whatever else you were, trying to make happen. And then, you repeat that cycle 3 or 4 times and trying to do research or some other thing. And that gets annoying. And it does become cumulative where your temper might be a little bit short from time to time.
Or if you're trying to watch a video on YouTube and it's a 20-second video and you have to watch 3 30-second ads to finish the whole thing.
Yeah, that's right.
Those are the dreams. That's the American dream now, is to get to a point where your video has 3 ads, stuck in it.
Yeah. Plus, again.
Which you get no benefit from, by the way.
You don't. But I can see, if it's free, one of the things that I don't understand is, like in my news feed, all these articles pop up in front of my face, and I click on them. And again, it's usually very early in the morning. And so I click on them, and then I realize it's a newspaper. This article came from a newspaper somewhere that I don't visit, that I probably won't be visiting anytime soon, at least. And I'm thinking, why did that pop up? I know it's a subject that I'm interested in, but then right away comes up a subscription demand. If I subscribe to every newspaper that I read articles from, I would go broke.
Well, that's why they want you to, because you did before.
No, I never signed up for any of that.
No, I mean, but you looked at something they did once.
Probably, but here's the thing.
Or you lost the chase, like you said, and accidentally hit a play button.
No, it's mostly the
or maybe you had one too many cocktails. You don't know.
So I don't mind watching an ad if that ad pays for my ability to read the article. I'll watch it, but at one, because I figure if they're carrying ads to pay for it. But here's the thing: doesn't TV work like, they've always had the Nielsen ratings, and they have automatic ways of judging how many eyeballs are on your, the TV screen at any given time. And then ad rates, the station revenues or cable channel revenues have all depended on how many eyeballs are actually seeing that. Why isn't there some system like that where if I read an article, especially some of them are like system-wide, all the newspapers carry that same article. But if I watch it from for instance, the Detroit News. Why shouldn't the Detroit News get credited automatically when I read that? Because it came up from their publication.
Well, you probably do, actually.
Yeah, they probably get
Well, then why
a
are
cut
they-
of it.
I
YouTube
think-
gets the bulk of it, and they get a nickel.
But why aren't
I think it's
getting...
0.04 of a cent, actually, but
Wow.
that's closer to what it is.
That doesn't... Is it really? Is that really?
Well, online, of course, everything is probably
Oh, I know. They have the analytics that are
registered
for
somewhere. And yeah, absolutely. And I do think that there does seem to be some sort of an effort to get rid of free over-the-air broadcasts, because
Yes.
there's no way that they can track what you watch on that. And they think, oh, we can't have that.
But what
we
about
have
the
to be able-
set-top box? Can't they track that?
On cable, yes, but if you're just using an antenna, no.
And it's something along the lines of what you touched on in the Digital Spies and Archives episode about them selling your data. We just
Yeah.
mentioned that briefly, but that's what it is. It's a huge thing to target. Advertisers target you. I worked in advertising for a while, and it makes you feel dirty because it's all a bunch of crap, and you're
Cheap.
just trying to sell people a bunch of crap, and
You feel
you're lying to them.
cheap and used. Huh?
I did political ads too, which is the same. It's a bunch of crap, and you're trying to sell people a bunch of crap, and you feel like crap.
All right, we're talking about the political...
But you count the money just the same as if you felt good. So
Hey, it's paying your salary.
I'm a hypocrite and a sellout.
And it makes you feel bad
You
about
gotta
yourself.
live. You gotta eat.
I wish I could sell out some more. I really do.
Because it
I'm for sale.
buys stuff. Hey, what about political elections? Should there be an absolute limit? After we saw the contribution,
I disagree.
Of the
I
first
think we
buddy-
need them. I think we need elections. So
No,
I disagree
mean,
with you.
No.
Getting rid of elections
No.
is a very dangerous idea.
Do you mean voting online, or what are you talking about?
3, 4, 5. Okay, now I'm calm. No, I'm talking about contributions, limiting the amount of money that there's supposed to be limits, but I mean limiting the amount of money, a cap on what each candidate can spend to
Shouldn't
get
be about
themselves
money,
a-
but we're not really on the. We're talking about the devices and the internet, and I did want to make another point or two, but
Okay, do it.
Um,
We'll make another episode about campaign finance. That's a good subject.
Why did
to
you make a
nervous.
donation you're ashamed of?
I wish. Well,
Yeah.
I wish no one needs to worry about that for
Well,
me.
somebody will be selling your data and then contacting you shortly with an email about how the country's in danger of being destroyed if you don't donate your last $50 to them.
I'll donate my 2 cents verbally.
So what's on your mind there? What's
what were you
happening?
saying?
Oh, there's something brewing.
oh, how about the rebooting problems? Anybody had that? You'd be in the middle of something, and all of a sudden, it just reboots itself.
Oh.
Windows has been particularly bad along those lines, but Android is starting to do that now. It just, it used to be back when they started doing that. Oh, you have to update Windows. You got to. It's for security reasons and all that stuff. And you used to be able to click something that would say, "Not now. Leave me the head alone." But not anymore. Mm-mm.
They just do
You can
it.
go into the settings and stuff and say, no updates or do them after midnight or something like that. But they just ignore it.
My view on constant updates is the same as my view on the new iPhones every year. It's just like, all right, what's the game here?
Well,
Why
they
do you
have
gotta keep doing
certainly
this?
accomplished mind control with all the Apple fans.
It's the same as like any kind of detergent that says, oh, now we get rid of dirt and grease. Oh, you didn't before? New and improved.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, what you knew the product you were selling before was crap?
And the new
Perhaps-
version of the latest iPhone has one more pixel in the camera.
Wait, really?
And then they line up to get it.
No, really?
Yeah, when's that coming out?
1 pixel?
That sounds fantastic.
Well, hey, for you guys especially, if you're taking videos that you want to make shorts for a certain podcast, does 1 extra pixel help you out so that it's clearer, sharper, and a better experience for the viewer?
No, it's hype.
Yeah.
Doesn't help.
If your eyes aren't in HD to begin with, then it doesn't matter what video how you record it. It's like if your screen's not that clear, it doesn't matter.
Or if it's greasy all the time.
Or if you've dropped your phone down
greasy.
underneath your car seat, or it's getting crunched as you move your seat around and it breaks your screen. It doesn't matter how pretty your picture looks.
Have you seen that commercial with the phones? I think it's for a phone company that replaces your phone no matter what condition it's in. But you see all of these phones in the process of getting broken accidentally, And I sit there and I think, oh my goodness, that really gets my attention because I've broken more than one phone. I dropped one in a bathtub full of water when I was washing my dog. All of these things.
You know what's got my nostril hairs all tied up and twisted is
oh dear.
Seeing, I don't do it, but seeing people just use their phone like a credit card. What a bunch of idiots.
What do you mean?
It's like, I'm going to pay for something. Here, let me tap my phone to this thing because I'm too lazy to get out a credit card or some cash. Oh, here, let me send you this picture.
Are you worried about the germs?
No.
No,
germs.
is that an issue?
You gotta have germs. If you had hand sanitizer, if you bathed in hand sanitizer all the time, you die soon.
A certain amount of germs.
I'm not a doctor, but you gotta have some germs. Your body has to be able to.
Screens.
Your body has to get.
Thing.
It's like your body has to do that stuff to get stronger. It's like doing a push-up. Oh, it hurts, so I'm not going to do it. But your body can't get stronger unless you do it.
Yeah, but phones are very dirty.
Well,
even
true.
your own phone is really dirty. But tapping your phone, especially if you hold it up to your face.
But that's not what's,
It's not a germ thing.
Bothers me. It's just stupid to tap your phone onto somebody else's device to share information. Oh, I'm just paying for this with my phone.
Yeah, and the QR code has the ability to store a lot more information than just...
How stupid do you have to be? That's the question. For convenience.
What is a skimmer? Just as a little off topic.
Well, when your pool gets stuff in it.
No, not a.
You call the pool boy.
No, it's some kind of a thing that they put in the.
Yeah.
In a pay.
So it can get your credit card number.
That actually happened to me in Burbank, California.
Gas pumps mainly.
Yeah. Food truck. Somebody it happened at a gas station and also when I paid for something at a food truck.
What happened?
These people were just sitting in a nearby parking lot in their car, and they were detecting all the signals that were coming through when you paid for something wirelessly or whatever.
What would you have to have?
They hack into the signal, and then they just get all the information. Then they go and.
How would they do that? What kind of equipment?
Are you trying to start a side hustle?
There wouldn't be that because I'm not technical enough for it. So I'm innocent totally.
So if you wanted to do that, you would ask questions on a podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so everybody would know that they could.
Well, everything is wireless, so Wi-Fi.
Yeah. It's just think of it as if
you can transfer information over Wi-Fi and Bluetooth as well.
And if all those signals had visible colors to them that you could see, you'd go nuts.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean around you?
Yeah.
That's not technically a skimmer, but yeah, it's the same idea.
But
it's more of a hack.
Is a skimmer like a little thing that goes down in the slot?
Yeah, it's a physical thing that you put in the slot, like in a gas pump, and it fits in there, and it allows them to put the credit card in there and all that. And so it's like a little connection in between. It still makes the connection with the pump so that the transaction goes through normally, but it also captures. It doesn't transmit it. It actually stores it on a little memory chip in there. And later they come back and retrieve the skimmer adapter, and they get all that data.
People don't even see paychecks really anymore.
That's right.
I want to be paid in gold coins. I'm trying to work that out.
Good luck on that.
Go check Fort Knox.
Hey,
we'll see if there is any.
Speaking of gas stations, I heard that you should, speaking of being too lazy.
So this episode's going to be about gas stations.
No, it's just stuff that makes you anxious.
Okay.
And then I have a quick update on a couple of fun things. That you should bail your butt out of your car and walk in and pay for your gas inside the gas station.
Always.
Why is that?
Even if you're paying with the credit card.
Well, for one thing, it takes away any possibility of you getting caught by a skimmer that's put in the gas pump.
Okay.
But also because if you pay at the pump, then obviously the gas pump doesn't know how much gas you're going to need. So that's their excuse. So what they do is they'll block out. I think it's about $150 now.
Is that the average that a full gas tank?
Oh,
would-
so that'll
Yeah.
hold your
Yeah,
card for
exactly.
that until it clears.
But what's bullshit about it is that after you've completed the transaction, then that smart pump knows how much you actually bought, how much you spent, and it could just as well just deduct that from your account and not leave the block on there. But hey, just for fun, we'll leave the block on there for another few days, which is often what happens.
So if you're
Happens.
traveling, that's a really bad problem
Yeah, that got us bad for one time when we were traveling on a low budget.
with kids, a whole flock of kids, and the gas pump blocked out money. We didn't understand that. We didn't know that sort of thing happened, and it wasn't until we sat down
That was
with
at the
our
beginning
records.
when they were doing that, definitely.
And there wasn't banking over the internet at that time, so this was a while back, but the practice continues. So they've got your money essentially for a full tank of gas. Even if you just went in and you got
$20.
$25
Yeah.
worth of gas, they have blocked out all the money
Yeah.
that it would take for you to fill
So what
that
you should
tank.
do is go in and say, I'm on pump number 7. Could you put in $20 for me? And then when they do it that way, then that's all that comes out. There's no block.
What if you're on pump number 6?
Well, then you've given somebody else $20 worth of gas.
How kind
I
of
How
actually-
nice of you.
But it's funny. I actually did that, and then I realized I wasn't even at the pump. So I was inside. I was like, $10 on pump 10, and I'm like, I'm not even at the pump yet.
So you hadn't parked yet.
So kids,
So then you had to wait.
so I had to run like a maniac to the car and
So
get to that
park
pump before
first.
somebody else got my $10 of free gas.
Park first, then go in and pay, then walk back out and fill the tank, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So
they inside
park-
they can put the dollar amount into the pump.
Okay.
And it shuts itself off at
Okay.
that point.
And
in time.
especially if money is a real issue.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the things with our podcast. That we're kind of on the lower level here. And somebody that has a whole bunch of money in their bank account doesn't have to worry about that differential between a full tank of gas and the $25 that you do have with you that they wouldn't even know or care. They probably don't even notice.
I want to get a dozen eggs worth of gas in my tank one of these days.
Maybe just try putting the eggs in there. Who knows?
Wild man, you.
I know you can put cooking oil in there if it's a diesel, so maybe eggs. I don't know.
Yeah, but I don't think you should mix that.
I do want to jump back just real quick because some of this talk, before I forget about it, about the frustration with like logging in and stuff like that. Now they're making you do more things, and sometimes they'll even send a code to your phone. Then you got to wait for that to come
And
through.
it's
And you think
99 digits.
so you're there getting more and more nervous. So one thing that I've done personally, and it does seem to help a little bit, when those things happen, and I know there's going to be a delay, I'll think, okay, thanks. It's time for me to take a few deep breaths.
Before it even begins.
Yeah, I say, meditation time. Thank you.
Or
it does
sitting
kinda,
in a
it kinda
traffic
work.
jam.
Sometimes it works. I'll put it that way.
No, it does help, even if it's just a couple of seconds.
And to help in my advancing years, to help me with
And
stuff.
you're a lot younger than us. Oh,
Well,
gosh.
I use the same password, which is Sam $1 223.
And they're
Sam.
somebody's password, so you better shut up.
Well, now they know it.
Now that
In case they forget, they'll be like, "Oh yeah."
Oh, yeah, that was nice of that guy.
Yeah. Do you have any good news?
No, but I'm going to share
No.
what one of my pet peeves
no.
is. No, I do.
Yeah, we can talk about a few non-technical
My pet
peeves,
peeve
I guess.
is shallow or zero pockets in women's pants, clothes. I hate it so much. I would rather, if it makes me look 25 pounds heavier than I am, I don't care, as long as I have a pocket. Can you imagine, you gentlemen, can you imagine wearing a pair of pants with no pockets? I mean, can you even imagine how inconvenient that is?
No, I can't really.
Can you imagine going shopping? And this will explain
Wait,
why
I'm still
I take
imagining
longer.
the first part. No,
just-
no, I can't. No.
Can you imagine when you go shopping, if you're a pocket person, having to say, okay, I'm looking for pants with a real pocket, a full pocket, maybe more than one. And so when you're shopping, not only do you have to think about it fitting you, the right color, maybe to go with something that you have, but also having pockets. And so it takes you a little longer. So please bear with me when we go shopping, and don't give me a hard time because you're distracting me from finding pockets. And that's one of my biggest
Okay.
complaints. So I'm a lucky woman indeed, if that's my biggest complaint. We have, yesterday we were talking about the vending machine pizza. We managed to get a little short put up to show you what that looks like. And we went back through some of our vacation stuff, and we did manage to find enough video to do that. And I have to apologize, and it's to the guys putting this up, that on that vacation video, I was like a monkey, running all over the place. I was in.
You were really excited about robot pizza.
I must have been crazy
Well,
excited.
I'd be careful with that. You know what monkeys do
No.
with their own.
Oh, stop.
I don't think you were that bad. I think you were just
No, I
excited
wasn't.
about the robot pizza.
I think I was, because it was so hard to assemble that little video. But the good news is it's up. I am not interfering in every shot as I was on the raw footage. But we didn't know. We didn't know that that footage would mean anything in the future other than just a fun reminder of.
But if
such
anybody
good
ever
event.
meets you in person, they'll recognize you by your hand. They'll be like, "That's her. Look at her hand. That's from the robot pizza, the AI
I don't know if
pie short."
I don't know if I had any rings on, but all I have to do is change my rings because my hands look pretty much like everybody else's.
What was the title of that, in case people want to try and find it?
AI pie, future pizza from
Nice.
France.
Okay, check it out because I think you'll have to agree with me that it looks delicious. Another update, donut hole kittens. Now, one in the first
We're taking
week,
bids.
in the first week that we had started up this podcast, there is a feral cat that visits us virtually every day. And she had come in, and I had left a box in our patio, our screened-in patio, just in case, because she's around often enough, and she was visibly pregnant. And I thought, okay, maybe she'll have her kittens here, and that made me feel good for her to have the kittens in the box in our patio, because there are so many owls here. And someday I would love to put up some audio of the owls' love song, because wow, it's amazing. There's a tree near our house, and they sit in that tree and sing, and oh my goodness, it's haunting, and I love it, and I would hope that you would find it amazing too.
Yeah, they're real night owls.
They are, but I was worried about, we call the feral cat Kelly. I was worried about Kelly having her kittens out because I thought that would be a nice little snack for those owls.
Do you ever think that she's like, "My name's Jennifer. Why do they keep calling me Kelly?"
Well, let's put it this way. She
Stupid
comes when I
humans.
call Kelly. But I think it has more to do with the fact that I give her a little treat when she comes. And I brush her, which she really loves. Anyway, she had her kittens, it would be like a week after we started this podcast. We started on Fat Tuesday, and that first week we were all over the place with timing and stuff. And so she had her kittens. It'll be 2 weeks Thursday. And this morning I went out there to check, and it looks like everybody's eyes, there are 4, and their eyes are open. I can tell for certain that that's true for 3 of them, but one of them that we're referring to is Patch. He has a black circle around his eye, one eye, and the other one appears, we haven't had a good look at his face because so far they haven't had their heads up enough to be able to see. But it looks like his other eye also is in the blacks, like a black cowl, like Kelly. She has a cowl. And so I can't tell if his are open too, but the other 3 are. And so we want to put a little update video of the donut hole kittens, so you can see their progress, because they're awfully cute, and they're getting nice and fuzzy and a little plump. And
Stop! You're making me hungry.
yeah, I was worried that the owls would think that they were a tasty little tidbit too.
No, they're pretty cute, but I could tell
Yeah,
it looks like they have different fathers.
They're very cute.
Yeah, they do. They're all very, very different. I cannot believe it, but we are just about out of time. I want to say thank you again for listening, and thank you for checking out our shorts. because we mean it in a way that
What-
brings you,
what do you mean by
brings you
that?
happiness and kind of clarifies some of the things that we're bad.
Do they have pockets?
What?
Shorts.
My shorts. Well, if they're for me, probably not. Count your blessings, everybody. There are absolutely many, and be sure to take some time to do something that gives you joy.
Sounds great. See you next time.